GovCamp is an annual unconference for people who are interested in the web and government and public services and how it all works together. It's an unconference, and that means that people get to talk about what they want to talk about, not what some committee has got together and thought is a good idea for them to discuss. So we've got hundreds of people here. We've got 40 or so sessions over the course of the day, in which people will get to talk about whatever they want to talk about.
Jane and I, Harry M.
Jane Hilditch,
are going to do delivering an actual agile project after a not very agile procurement, lessons and stuff.
and we'll tell you what worked and what didn't.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Keep moving. Come on, Dave.
John Glover, as part of a digital communication strategy, looking at the relationship between stakeholder mapping and digital tools.
Cool. Thank you.
At Ann Kempster and at Lily_Dart, and we want to talk about what do you want from your agile supplier? So not the procurement side, but the actually working with an agile supplier.
Yeah, what do you want? What makes you comfortable when you're working in agile?
Cool. Thank you.
Proactive Paul, repetitive strain injury. How to get it, how to get rid of it.
Thank you. Thank you. Next. Sharon, come on.
Participation in next year's elections, only 41% of young people expect that they'll turn out. A few of us have been talking about doing a UKGovcamp type thing to try and find things to get more people to turn out in the next year's election. So come along, find out more about it.
I'm back, but I need her. Oh. So last year at this event, Sharon and I and Hadley came up with the event 300 Seconds. We've done 5 of them. We want some input from everyone on where we should go with that. 300 Seconds is aiming to get more women speakers in tech.
Cool. Yeah. Sure, Vicky.
I'd like to run a session called Making a Difference with Data. Some people may remember this was a programme ran a couple of years ago. We're relaunching it. It's about persuading policy and decision makers about the benefits of using data and open data. Happy to join up with anyone else that wants to talk about data in a strictly non-geeky way.
Anthony Zack and Design Comedy, Making Open Policy a Reality.
It's going to be awesome.
Hi, my name's Marisi. I want to talk about how open data is actually making banks behave better. So in the US, our Consumer Financial Regulatory Agency opened our complaint data, and there's data to prove that it's making banks behave better.
Yep.
Gina Loughlin, TCamp London. Graham up there and I are making a film about TCamp today, so come down to the MAP or the cafe area and tell us what you think about it. Sorry, TCamp. GovCamp!
Community digital learning with Puffles the Dragon Fairy. We want to know, in your local areas, what sort of things should be in a digital learning programme for people in your community, from basic office skills to basic social media skills. What do you think they should have? Thank you.
I'd like to run a session on enabling better policy making. So if we were going to start afresh, we're going to design policy making work, what would it look like? What should our organisation be?
Great.
Last year I made a video called The Gubbins of Government. I know some of you saw it. It's a completely plain English explanation of how government IT might change over the next few years. I think it's got implications for everyone, and if you'd like to talk about it, let's do that.
Phil Ribbons from LookGov Digital. This is a picture of two halves, really. We'd like to start to join up developers, designers, all sorts of maker people in local government under the banner Local Gov Digital Makers.
And also I'd like to connect that with Code for Europe and other kind of civic coding networks and try to see how we can build more collaboration across the UK.
Ben Welby, BM Welby. If we're making digital by default services that are so good people want to use them, what does digital by default mean for government when stuff goes wrong and we have to support people?
Great. Thank you.
Okay, Simon Gray, also from the Digital Steering Group. We've been building a tool that we're calling the Council Website Usability Dashboard as a way of crowdsourcing the usability of various council websites in a way to kind of make them better.
Jenny T, I have a very techie topic, which is CSV on the web. How do we publish tabular data better?
Yeah. Go. Come on, John. Come on.
John Sheridan, this is about thinking about the statute book, so the laws that govern us. In terms of being a giant, balked legacy software system, how do we fix it so we make it better? If it sounds dry, I can tempt you with 3 copies of the Interpretation Act 1978.
Sexy.
Okay, my idea is, how do we help people find open data about their neighbourhoods and contribute to it?
Not many years ago, when I started work, there were typists who produced documents and messengers who moved them around. Now we have a computer that does it, but nothing else has changed. But it will. So how does work when we use the technology and the buildings and the people in different places better?
Paul Brewer, PD Brewer. How do we create local capacity for innovation and delivery, brackets, local innovation hubs?
Ms. Sarah Kelly, GLA. I want to talk about next generation data stores and dashboards, and particularly how we can involve hyperlocal in that.
Hello, _Alan Emma. I'd like to talk about how we can unlock creativity in the public sector.
At Glenn Ochcore, I want to talk about synchronised ice dancing, but instead, today I'm going to ask about social media and recruitment. Why in public sector are we pretty bad at using it when actually it's proven outside of that?
Cool.
That was awful.
Yay! Wow.
Michelle Hyde-Smith, I want to talk about knowing your users and getting out of the building and understanding context. I had another session idea which was about sketchnoting. I'm going to do the one about users because I haven't heard anyone mention user research yet. So,
I'll talk about users. Cool.
Well, there's a deal.
Negotiation outside of the queue, please. Thank you. Thanks, Michelle. Keep moving.
Steve Parks from Wonderroot. I'd like to talk and have a group sharing experiences about training and explaining Agile without seeming like a crazy cult. Our idea is we match it to like health and fitness, so story points are calories and that sort of thing, and it seems like common sense. So what are other ideas? So I'd like a group on that.
Thank you, Steve.
Lizzie Hodgson from Decent Online. Want to look at having a discussion between people who perhaps have experience in Drupal and use Drupal with those that don't really understand Drupal and probably, again, see it as a crazy cult. So, talking about Drupal from both sides.
Alex Sapp-Langry on Twitter. Central government digital, it's all fixed now, yes? Nothing to get angry about.
Yeah. Darwin Pelton at Darwin on Twitter. I'd like to talk about how we make publishing open data cheaper, easier and more sustainable so that we can keep publishing it when the shininess wears off and there's less money about.
Richard.
Right, Richard Vivers, at Richard Vivers. I'd like to do, I'm not sure if it'll be popular, cryptocurrency, digital finance, bitcoins, peer-to-peer lending. Is it establishment? Is it anti-establishment? Can we do anything with it? Just putting it out there. Vast silence.
Hello, I'm Tim Dobson at T Dobson. I'm running a session that I need your help with. The epic SaaS versus open source showdown. Which is better? Which should you use? I need you to help. Come and share your views.
Philip McAllister at Ice Runner. Oh shit, I've been hacked. What now? Clearing up the mess after Russian spammers.
Mark Braggins. The session title is Futurology. What will public services look like in 2020 or 2030? In the style of the Jeffrey Hoyle book from 1972, which is a cracker if you haven't seen it.
Mm-hmm. Hello, I'm Bill Roberts. My session is Measuring the Value of Open Data. Most people here probably think it's a good idea, but your manager probably wants some evidence that it's going to achieve something useful. How do we gather that evidence so that organizations can keep publishing more open data?
Hi there, Jill Bailey, Local Digital Campaign, DCLG. My session is Need a Local Central Conversation. What we're trying to do is join up local government and central government, get some conversations going. Where does local government digital transformation make a big impact on local, and vice versa? So if you've got some great ideas as what we should be talking about and looking at, come and talk to me.
Smashing. Thank you. James or somebody?
Hello, I'm Harry. I'm going to run a session on sketchnoting, and I very much hope Michelle turns up because I know nothing at all about sketchnoting.
Go on, Annie.
Hi, I'm MCX on Twitter and Visceral Business, and I would like to run a session on vendorware or the village brain, and how can we create connected intelligences within organisations to pull together service delivery.
Cool.
Hi, I'm Paul Maltby. I lead the Government Innovation Group in the Cabinet Office. I'm interested in something on data science within the non-secret bits of government, in policy operations and analysis. What could we do? What should we do? What shouldn't we do?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Ollie Buckley, and I run the transparency team in the Cabinet Office. And I want to talk about what are the big outstanding wins on open data and where we should be focusing our efforts.
Cool. Great. Thank you. Sir?
Hello, Ramel Affleck at Ramified on Twitter. And my topic won't be surprising to some people, but it's engaging young people in government and government decision-making. Because often young people, like me, are confused as being kind of, and like him, of course, but they're confused as being kind of not engaged, and I actually don't believe that's really true. I think we just have to look at how we're doing that. So whether that's online, but yeah, that's my session.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Pauline Roach from Ornor Organisation, and I'd like to pitch a session with myself and Ted Ryan up at the back on how the voluntary and public sectors can and should work together. We have a lot to learn from each other.
Very great. Nice one. Hello.
Hello, Ben Jam from My Society. Really surprised no one's spoken about this yet, but I want to talk about open standards for service interaction with local and national government, because without it, open data will just grow stale. So.
Cool. Thank you.
Val Pearce, BHCC. We could have a discussion on how councils can be more open and transparent.
Nice one. Thanks, James.
Jenny T again. This one is again a geeky thing, and I was hoping that Matt Dukes might join me, but I can't see where he is. Something about publishing statistics on the web and the ONS website and what we might do with that.
Hello, Conor Pendergrass from @ResiFlex UK. I'd like to not talk about, but learn about and hear from everyone else about connected care and connected information in social care, in particular residential childcare, if that niche is here, and how we can do that to improve the lives of young people in care.
Okay, well, here we go.
Hello, I'm Adam Turnbull UK, and I would like to probably give about 20 minutes to talk about targeting your particular individuals, so kind of key pockets of your demographic within your local area, in order to counteract the huge decline of reach through Facebook.
Great. See you guys.
Okay, is that it?